Jeff Jeans, rocketing to rock star status.
He says that if Obamacare is repealed, he says it does need to be replaced with something just as good, if not better, because right now, hundreds of thousands of Arizona lives depend on it.
In this current political climate, this lifelong Republican committed what some would consider a cardinal sin on national television, no less.
I want to thank President Obama from the bottom of my heart because I would be dead if it weren't for him.
In 2012, he finally got insurance through the ACA under the pre-existing conditions clause. Turns out he had stage 4 throat cancer.
Now I would probably say for-profit healthcare isn't that great. Before I got sick, it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I was a Republican and I worked for the Reagan and Bush campaigns. Just like you, I was opposed to the Affordable Care Act. When it was passed, I told my wife we would close our business before I complied with this law. Then, at 49, I was given 6 weeks to live with a very curable type of cancer. We offered 3 times the cost of my treatments, which was rejected. They required an insurance card. Thanks to the Affordable Care Act, I'm standing here today alive. Being both a small business person and someone with pre-existing conditions, I rely on the Affordable Care Act to be able to purchase my own insurance. Why would you repeal the Affordable Care Act without a replacement?
Oh, we wouldn't do that. We want to replace it with something better. I mean, really, seriously. I mean, really.
Can I say one thing? I hate to interrupt you. Can I say one thing? I want to thank President Obama from the bottom of my heart because I would be dead if it weren't for him. I was Paul Ryan talking about repealing it before I got sick. I was Paul Ryan, but not anymore.
He said the repeal and replacement will coincide with each other. How do you feel about his answer?
Well, you know, I just think no American should be segregated because of a pre-existing condition or anything for that matter and thrown into a separate group for that reason.
What didn't you like specifically about Obamacare? What didn't you like about it?
That it was a government program. Anything that involved government, I was opposed to. I was a libertarian-leaning Republican.
And
so if government was involved, I didn't like it.
Were you wrong about that?
You can ask all my... I was definitely wrong. I was definitely wrong. Yeah. Why was I wrong? Well, because there's certain sectors that, you know, need a little push from the government.
Yeah.
At times you wonder whether, you know, for-profit health care is the best thing, you know? When I talk to other people and they have different viewpoints than me, you know, I can relate to that. I was that person, you know, and when you rely on having that safety net, being a cancer survivor, I rely on that safety net. If that's yanked out from under me, you know, how am I going to plan my life? How are we going to buy a house, buy a car, buy the groceries, you know, pay for health care? You know, what if I get sick again? You know, and I'm a lucky one. I don't have an ongoing health issue. You know, everybody deserves to be treated the same when it comes to health care. I don't think anyone realizes what that experience is like or entails unless you've been the one in the hospital bed.
Jeff says repealing the Affordable Health Care Act without a suitable replacement would be a doomsday scenario for many others just like him.
Right. Jeff has an incredible story, and I think, you know, we're very fortunate that he's doing great now. But the fact that he waited for treatment from that fear is something we never want to have to hear any patient say.
Jeff has teamed up with the American Cancer Society and is using his newfound fame to shine a spotlight